Peace, family. It's 19 Keys. Welcome to the brief. Your followers are keeping you broke. Going for followers will keep you broke. Having just a following will keep you broke. So listen to the following. Why? What does a follower do? They follow. And that's it. And that's the problem. Let me explain. You have three different type of audiences that you want to go for. A follower is just first tier. It just represents the potential. They can possibly be converted. A following can be leveraged. You see somebody with 1 million followers, they can leverage the aesthetics, right? And the look of that and the potential of that audience based on who knows about them. But they can't build a true business around a following. You're not monetizing a following. What you start to monetize is the next two categories. Your fan are the ones who engage, right? Those are the ones who comment, they like, they share, they subscribe, they spread the word far and wide. These are the people I love. See, a follower is like somebody coming into a store, taking a look at it, and then leaving. All they did was come and look. They're window shopping. So they're cold leads. Your goal is to be able to focus on finding your fan base. Once you start to find your fan base, these are the people that's committed to you. These are the people that's connected to you. Why? Because they know your story. Your story is what becomes your personal brand. It connects you to an audience to where you're not just going for a following, but you're going for a depth of connection. Now, once you build that depth of connection, you start to convert that into what we consider to be a supporter. A supporter is the audience that you have monetized, or other people call it core fan base. Those are the people who actually buy. Plus, they do all the other things as well. Most people just have a following. They have no supporters. That's why they're broke. The people that have supporters, they're rich. Or at least they have a sustainable living to where they can be financially free. Think about it. You have an artist, have a lot of streams. Your favorite artist, comment below. Have you ever bought something? What's the most amount of money you spent from your famous artist's lifetime? If you haven't been to their concert and you haven't bought their merch, you haven't spent much with them. I used the example before. I love Lauryn Hill. Haven't bought a single thing from Lauryn Hill. Listened to her music my whole entire life. Haven't contributed a single quarter to Lauryn Hill. I say a quarter because the stream is worth like 0.003 cents. So maybe collectively I gave her a few pennies, maybe a dime over time, right? But I'm not her core fan base that she's going for. Her core fan base are the ones that show up to the shows, that buy the merch, that are there to help support her make a living so she can continue to do what she do. And that's what you want to have. And it doesn't require you to have a massive following. Remember, we don't even care about following. We want to focus on fans and supporters, right? Fans are warm leads. Eventually, most fans become supporters, right? But when a person tours, they're focused on their supporters. Those are the ones that's getting they're doing the Chris Brown, you know what I mean? Where they turning around. This is somebody's wife and maybe she shouldn't be that kind of supporter, but he got her like that. Michael Jackson, he probably had the biggest supporter group in the world. But let's forget about them because they're superstars. But we can learn from them. We can learn what is that funnel. Most people create content and they create it just for followers. Oh, look at me. Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to be famous. But what are you going to do with the fame? That's what we come in and we teach. I don't want to just be famous and just known by anybody. You want to leverage that fame, right, to create a funnel. So your goal is to create a community. You can do it on different platforms like school. You can set up Discord. You can set up Telegrams. You can utilize Superphone, community, right? All of these different ways to where you can then start to own your audience. Because when you're on YouTube, YouTube owns your audience and you don't have the analytics and the data. Once you start to get analytics and data, you go to companies like CAAs, one of the biggest talent managing companies in the world. When you go to their office, you get signed in, they take you upstairs. Sometimes you may see Motor from X-Files in the waiting room. I did when I went there, right? There's a guy that's African that I worked there. We get up there. First time I went up there talking about they can't show me my analytics. Why? Because they wanted to have some trade secrets. Second time, they gave me the piece of paper, showed me what they had. They didn't even have all my analytics. They didn't even have my data from my YouTube. So I'm like, these are not even all of my core analytics, but they use that to make decisions on how they could help me, right? Connect directly to my core fan base so I could plan out my tour. I planned out my tour. I had thousands of people show up each time in each city. It was the first time a thought leader of my caliber that ever done that. One date, next day, next day, next day. It was crazy. We sold out the Apollo and many different places that haven't happened like that before. So why am I telling you that? Because without the analytics of the supporters and the fan base, I wouldn't have known what I could do, and I couldn't make certain decisions. I don't know what my consumers like. Who else do they listen to? Because when you gain them sort of insights, you're allowed to make decisions the right way, right? So my goal had started to shift. Instead of trying to get everybody, I want to niche down. The reason you want to niche down, because number one, it takes you out of competition, right? And number two, you go directly to whoever you want to speak to. Then you can advertise on that, or advertisers love that if that's the route you want to go. What we call business to business. If you want to go direct to consumer, that's you and your core fan base. Then you're focusing on niche things. Maybe you're doing AI for creators, like we're doing in the mentorship, right? People come to me specifically for the things that I know, but I'm only going to teach what I've done, right? I know a lot of different things. I haven't done everything. I have created me one of the largest personal brands, right, in the world globally. Just on high level conversations, we had 3 of our previous guests are running for president. 2 are still in the race. Well, one just dropped out. One is still in a race, and one is in a race in Ghana. Yeah, we flew all the way to Ghana to have that conversation, right? With freedom. And who knows if will win, but one thing he will know is who are his true supporters. The ones that actually came out, stood in line, and voted, right? Think of it like this. You have Trump and you have Kamala. Now, how do we know which one has an organic following, which one has a paid? When you have a paid following, you don't have any connection to them. You just paid to get in front of them. And sometimes that convert. Oh, they see you, they like something you said, and they bought in. But they don't know who you are. They ain't got no connection. They don't know your story. They don't know your values. They don't have no alignment. They don't care about your life. They don't know about your family. They don't know what you went through, your ups and downs. None of those things. This is why you need to build you a personal brand if you really want to get good supporters and followers. Building a personal brand is about building it based on who you are. And there's elements and there's a framework to be able to build a direct personal brand so you can live a life based on your authenticity, so that that life becomes more joyful, more purposeful, and you have more passion in the things that you do because you're energized, right? Versus a paid base. Now, what happens in politics? They get all this money from donors. Donors give them this money and they get with their teams and they decide who we're going to use this money for to get in front of, right? Some people say we need middle-aged white men, we need middle-aged white women, we need Asian supporters, whatever it may be. So they're paying to try to get in front of those eyeballs. But just because you get in front of those people, right, doesn't mean you made a good impression. You look at your analytics on YouTube or Instagram, they show you impressions, right? That means somebody at least seen you. But that don't mean you made a good impression, or where they converted over to follow you, like, share, comment, support, and it doesn't mean that they're ever going to become an actual supporter to where they're buying and then telling somebody else to put a good word in so that you can actually grow and have sustainability in your business. And we're going to see election time, who's following is actually going to be real supporters to where it converts over the day of election. They're going to stand in that line and they're going to vote and they're going to say, I'm with you. This is what you want to do with your following. You're always campaigning. You're turning people who just heard about you. You're aligning your values with theirs. You're connecting. You're sharing their story, right? And then you're building out your base. And once your base is swell enough, you have supporters. Then you take data from that and then you learn how to build products. You learn how to build services, right? Now, that means that it doesn't require a large following. It just requires real supporters. You can take a small YouTube channel and make $10, $20, $30,000 with the strategies that we're going to be teaching you in the mentorship. What's the mentorship? I'm glad you asked. So it's going to be a one-time thing that I do, right? The mentorship is going to be where I'm going to be able to teach every single month a different lesson that's going to help you scale and grow. The purpose of this is to be able to help you become a better operator, to learn better psychology, because most of it is just small tweaks in psychology, and learning how to master the growth mindset to where you start to see that 10x in your business. Sometimes a person reach to a certain point and they plateau in their business and their career. We want you to be that unleashed, right, entrepreneur and creator that just keeps growing and keeps scaling. It's not just a bunch of people coming and watch you. You learn how to communicate to them, right? You learn how to build out your presence, right? So we're going to be teaching mastering communication. I'll teach you how I use the skill of communication to take me all around the world, increase my confidence, become a more passionate speaker, right? To where my first goal was to become the best speaker in the world. Then I learned to become the most authentic speaker to myself, right? Speaking with truth, which requires no rehearsal, right? So we're going to teach you everything that we know when it comes to speaking, right? And the mastery of communication to build better relationships. Every single thing in here is designed for you to be able to master life, right? And specifically the different planes of life, mentally, spiritually, physically, which concludes to your success financially to be able to build wealth. Because everybody wants to be financially free. Who wants to worry about another bill? A woman don't want no man worrying about no bill, right? And no man wants to stress. It decreases your testosterone when you stress, right? So we're definitely going to be covering communication because that betters all your relationships. And your relationships are your wealth, quite frankly. There's a lot of things I don't have to spend $1 on because I know how to communicate. I know how to build relationships with people. You know how to be charismatic, right? So the next thing we're going to be teaching is how to build out your content funnel, how to create a podcast so that you can become an authority. Your podcast doesn't have to be like mine and get millions of followers, but you do need a podcast so you can be an authority in whatever space that you at. Whether you have 1,000 people listening to you, 10,000 or 100,000 people, you need to learn how to create content for your business, for your product, for your brand, whether you're an artist, whether you're an engineer, whether you're just a creator that creates content, whether you have a clothing brand, whatever it is, we're going to teach you, right, how to monetize that audience, how to become an authority in that space. So then that becomes a funnel where people are buying into whatever you are selling, right? Very important. Content is a transaction for attention that can be turned into a monetization funnel so that you become a creator economy yourself, right? When we're also going to be teaching the growth mindset hacks, specifically in mindfulness. We're going to go over different laws in the universe that you can use to apply occult and esoteric knowledge that you can use to stay at a high frequency so that you can manifest the reality that you want consistently. Before I got started on this journey, I was sitting and I was learning all of the esoteric and occult knowledge and all the laws of the universe. I now apply those subconsciously in my everyday life. I never forget them, and anytime that I get off track, I remember those laws and it gets me back to that manifesting frequency that I want so I can live the life that I want to. Most people are operating behind fear and they don't know how to transmute that into an alchemical process where you change what your body feel and it changes the way you think and it changes the reality that you live. If you can master in here, you can master out there, right? That's the power that we're going to teach you to where you can have that courage and that fearlessness to be able to go about the world and execute every single day, where you become more confident, right? You become more clear in thought to where you actually do what we call real thinking, to where you're making incremental success. Why? Because you're getting better and better at everything that you do because you know how to process information, how to take that information as insights, and how that becomes your next action where you're getting better and better. The masculine mind, speaking to the men, but a lot of women want to tap into their masculine side so they can learn how to reason better as well. Learned how to do very clear thinking. They know how to solve problems. It is said that war is a feminine principle. Why? Because when you're intellectual, they say knowledge brings peace because knowledge ends wars, or knowledge stops wars from happening. Why? Because you have enough intellect to solve your problem to where it don't have to get violence and go to war. So just by being intelligent, you can be more peaceful in your own life, because that frustration comes when you have the anger and you don't know how to figure things out. So when you develop that growth thinking, then you start to develop clear thinking, and you start to see your life always have success. These are the people you see and you're like, what's going on in your life? And they always have something new to talk about, something else, another vision. Vision gives direction. So we're going to be able to go over podcasting. We're going to be able to go over the content funnels. We'll be able to go over the growth hacks. We're going to have week-to-week structures. We're going to be able to do some one-on-one calls to get clarity for what is the direction that you want. You're going to be able to ask questions, right? And we're going to be able to build out this process together. Your personal brand will be strong. You're going to learn how to create a community and not just followers. Remember, that's what's keeping you broke. Now, if you've been following me for a while, I've launched a lot of products, right? Well, we've done 6 to 7 figures, whether there's wellness products, t-shirts, brands. I'm in a manufacturing facility right now. It's 220,000 square feet. Right behind me, there's a confidential operation to be able to make shoes. Then upstairs, there's luxury goods, apparels, we have pattern making, etc. So those that's going to be in a mentorship get first access to be able to help build out your brand in real time if that's something that you need. We're working on building out retreats as well, so there's going to be opportunities that you get access to. Any of the lessons that we're going to be teaching, you're going to be able to get access to those for free for the next 6 months, even if there's challenges that weren't included. And you're going to get tools such as the ebooks, different pins and merchandise access, some discounted for you by being a part of this as well. The biggest thing is it about investing in yourself, right? Having that access so that you don't have to go and try to learn it on your own, package up these things and figure it out. We already figured that out for you. My goal is to teach it in a way to where you can get the same results that I've been able to get as well. It's very much possible. You just have to ask yourself, are you willing and ready to invest in yourself and go to that next level? Most people are not. I get it. Most people are afraid. When you're not afraid, and you push past, then you start to win. And you take it from a place of just surviving, then you go to a place where you start to thrive. And then that's when you start to live at another level and live at your highest level. Most people will never access their true life because they live behind fear. Courage is that key that be able to unlock that new reality that you want to get to, right? So while everybody else is out there fighting the attention of followers, you're actually building a real fan base, a real community, knowing how to build out real funnels, right? So that you can start making 6 to 7 figures so you can live financially free, right? Right now, I'm currently in Japan. Now, what am I doing out here? Enjoying myself. I'm also building out an athleisure brand, right? Because I built out my personal brand and people know me, I'm inspiring people all around the world. I have a content channel, has 1.5 million subscribers, and on that with EYL that we're partnering with, we've been able to get over 1 billion impressions, right? And we got up to 100 million views on our show. Now, we know how to make long form content and short form content, and we've mastered it. So guess what? I don't have to do everything in my business. So I'm bringing my team to be able to share the things that they do as well so that you can learn everything. And on top of that, for a bonus, you'll be able to get access to our AI Supremacy Challenge as well. It's already shot. We give you all the tools that we use and all the automations, and any questions that you have, you can ask me and we'll give you further insights so that you can also automate your business to scale and or grow. There's many opportunities in the AI space right now, and we want to make sure that you have access to the future so you become future proof. This is the master's program. This is for leaders. This is for creators. This is for entrepreneurs, right? This is for those that's willing and ready to invest in themselves, right? The opportunity, the value of this is worth way more than I can ever charge you for. The team wanted to charge upwards to $25,000. They wanted to do something crazy high ticket. I said, how about we make it $1,000, and those who decide to sign up in the next 2 weeks, they get access to it. We send you a link. You have 24 hours to sign up, or you lose your spot. And then after that, we have the a la carte everything to where you're going to be charged way more. But what is the value? The value is financial freedom. The value is living that next life. The value is being able to manifest the reality that you want to. The value is stop chasing followers, start gaining supporters, having a community, owning your data, being able to be authority in your space, and being able to generate cash flow whenever you want to, and having skill sets that you can package and teach others as well. The game and the knowledge that will be told, right, and will be shared with you in the community of entrepreneurs and support system that you're going to have being a part of this is immense. I spent years and years gaining this knowledge, years and years and hundreds of thousands of dollars learning, making mistakes, developing to get to this point where now I can craft this and teach you how you can grow your own economy. I don't want to create no influencers. We want to create forces, people that have the ability to stimulate cash flow whenever they want to. So many people are magical, but they don't know the science. The creative ones that keep just creating and creating and creating. Why? Because they feel it. They're stimulated by creating. The person that's a scientist, they say, I can create one thing and sell it 1 million times. The creator wants to create 1 million things because it feels good every time they create. This is about building generational wealth by being passionate about what you do and creating impact at the same time. So this mentorship is for those who are ready to awaken themselves to that higher living. Travel the world, work remote, hire people, right? Build out your ideas in a way that's dynamic to where you have the skill sets, you know how to think clear, you can communicate yourself, and you can communicate your thoughts. You know how to speak to be heard, right? And understood very clearly to where people have a great feeling about you. So, family, come along for the next 6 months with me. I'll see you inside. Make sure you tap in for all of the value. Make sure you close out right now. Peace to the family. If this has been of value to you, then let us be even more of a value by allowing you to come into the community. I will coach you through it, and we're going to scale together. This is the High Level Masters Program. I'm 19 Keys. I'll see you inside. We're going to add you in the Telegram group and close friends, and you're going to get access to everything very soon as we're building this out. All right? Peace to the family.
A lot of the things that we are afraid of, those are the means that we have to do that's necessary that get us that freedom.
Y'all give it up for 19 Keys!
Hey, the 19 Keys.
Our community needs men like him.
More people need to know what's going on.
People from our communities can relate. It was nice to see like so many black men in here, all melanated people coming together.
Any other city you at, I'm there.
We talking about creating a new culture with this tour.
This was a high-level experience. We were given high frequency. It was an amazing experience.
And information to be successful in this now.
The VIP up in front. It was one of the best birthday gifts I could have asked for. I feel like it was the best money I ever spent. I'd rather be here than seeing Beyonce.
Make sure we get together and have a high-level conversation.
For me, I'm all about taking this over so that we get to the highest level.
Yo, man, it's a lot of cities to hit, a lot of people to touch. And it's beautiful.
It's my first time here. We out here.